What's up, everybody? It's John here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today, continuing our guide of Xenon Valkyrie. Today we're doing our second playthrough. So to pick things up from where we left them off last time, we're going to head back to the main menu and then start up a new game. This time we're going to choose a different character. It's going to be very important for this playthrough that we choose the rightmost character, who's going to be new, so make sure you choose him. He's going to be this Newt-looking character. So after you have him selected, you're going to get into the game. Make sure you hit that back button. We need to re-enter the cheat code, so make sure you do left, left, down, right, right, up, Y. That should restore all of our health, money, and keys, as well as all of the other intangible things that come along with it. Make sure you hit up that teleporter, and then we're going to take advantage of our handy-dandy left trigger to skip the entire level thing, so make sure you do that. So, biggest change with this playthrough you're going to notice is going to be in these in-between levels. You're going to have this red NPC right here that you want to talk to every time. He's going to ask you for a certain amount of money each time, and what you have to do is you have to make sure you pay that price. So the first time he's going to ask you for 25 cells. Make sure you give that to him, and that should take care of the first bit. And obviously, thanks to the cheat code, money shouldn't be an issue, so make sure you spend the money and then make sure you hit up the teleporter. We're going to use the good old level skip to skip this part, so make sure you hit that left trigger and then take the exit. In the next in-between part, you're going to meet that same NPC right here. Make sure you talk to him. He's going to double his price, so make sure you pay him 50 cells this time. Again, money is no issue. And then make sure you hit up the teleport. You're going to get a new first boss right here. This one's also going to be very easy. All you have to do is just make sure you smack the two energy pillars, one on the left, one on the right. Do them in any order, and that should take care of the boss. Easy peasy. Once you wrap that up, make sure you collect your loot from the chest, and then hopefully you are still pulling Teamorite, as that is going to be super useful later on. Hit up the next teleport. Our good old friend, the NPC's back. Make sure you talk to him again, and this time he's going to up his price to 75 cells, so make sure you pick that up. You're also going to have a second NPC here, who's going to be very important for another achievement. This NPC is going to ask for some materials in order to fix his teleporter. This first time, he's going to ask for one piece of Teamorite, one gold key, and then 100 cells. Obviously, we have pretty much infinite gold keys and cells thanks to our cheat code. However, those Teamorites are going to be limited by our pulls from the bosses, but this is going to be one of the achievements that you need to spend them on. So make sure you invest in this. Hopefully, you have at least one Teamorite available, and then just make sure you pay that along with everything else, and that should be the first of the 3 teleport repairs. As for the other 2 repairs, they're going to have to wait a couple of playthroughs, so we'll cover them in playthrough number 4. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But once you get that out of the way, we're going to get to the next in-between level, and then we're going to meet that other NPC. This time he's going to bump up his price to 100. Make sure you pay that. Side note here, if you ever notice the shop carries some Teamorite for sale, make sure you partake in that. Make sure you buy it. It should cost a varying amount of price depending on the shop, but because we have infinite money, we might as well invest it in something that we can't get through cheat codes, which is going to be more Teamorite. So make sure you buy them whenever they are in stock. Then we're going to get back to skipping, and then once we get to this in-between level, we're going to meet our friend, that NPC again. This time he's going to ask for 200 monies, so make sure you pay that. And that should be the last time, at least for this playthrough anyways, that he asks us for any money. So make sure you hit up the teleporter, and then we're on to this boss. This boss is going to be super duper easy. His 2 hitboxes are his 2 machine guns right here. Jump up and take one out, jump up and take the other one out, and he goes down. Super duper easy peasy, just like the rest of the bosses. Make sure you collect your loot. Hopefully you are still getting good luck with those Teamorite drops. And then we're going to head over to the teleport to head to the next area. Now, if you were a good enough Samaritan and gave this NPC all of the money he was asking you all of this time, he's going to complete his tunneling machine. And basically, if you talk to him, he's going to give you access to this alternative branch in the story. It's going to send you over to the Ivory Tundra, which is going to be an alternate level. This level is going to be exclusive to New, which is why we picked him at the beginning. So once you are here, thankfully the teleport trick still works, so make sure you take advantage of that to get past this very rare level. And then same thing for the second part, and that's basically going to send us to this in-between level. No more NPCs to deal with, so you can skip past this if you want to, unless there's something in the shop that suits your fancy. But drop down, and then we're going to fight the level boss. So he's pretty easy. You can take him out super duper quickly. So just make sure you go up to him and then just put a few slashes into him, or you can have him charge towards you and you can hit him along the way. Nonetheless, once you take him out, you should be good for this cutscene. And during said cutscene, your next achievement should pop for 80 gamer score called Ice Block. Let the cutscene wrap up, and you should transition over to this in-between level. You're going to get a ton of loot here. Make sure you open up both of them. Pretty useful stuff. There's also going to be a shop to take advantage of if you want to peruse their wares, so make sure you take advantage of that if you really must. Make sure you don't step through the teleporter, though. Instead, head back to the place you just spawned at. What you want to do is you want to make sure you wall jump up this wall through this gap in the ceiling. Keep wall jumping up on the right wall. After about 20 seconds or so of doing this, you should eventually clip through and find a new hidden area. It's going to take a little while, so make sure you are super patient right here. But just keep wall jumping up, and then eventually you should load in. And then once you are here, you should be free to start another hidden level that has another achievement tied to it. So make sure you hit up this spaceship right here by jumping into it. And then you're going to transition to this part. The game's going to shift into a shoot 'em up, and then your goal is to just play through until you get to the end. So you're basically going to have this part where you're blowing up asteroids and enemies, typical shoot 'em up stuff. The asteroids are going to contain more teamerites, so make sure you try to grab those and take advantage of the freebies right here. You have a ton of health to work with, as the cheat code still applies to these parts, although you can't use the teleport since there's obviously no end teleporter to go through. So just trudge through this. It's a little on the long side, so just bear with it, and then eventually you should be able to get to the end a-okay. So after about 2 to 3 minutes or so of flying and shooting, you're going to come to this straight line of enemies, and then on the other side is going to be the shoot 'em up level boss. It's going to be this thing right here. It's going to have a ton of health, but it's not going to move or anything, so you can just kind of stay in one place and then just outshoot it. Basically, your goal is to shoot it while trying to outlast its shots. As you have a ton of health, you can just stand in one place and then just absorb all the damage. Make sure you don't stand too close, though. It is going to spawn its minions in, which are going to be the main damage dealers. And if you happen to be on a minion hitbox as it's spawning in, it's going to do a ton of damage. So make sure you stay about one character length back or so, and then you should be in this nice sweet spot where you can take it out before it can take you out. You might also want to change up your fire every now and again to try to thin out the minions, especially if they start stacking up. But this boss fight is going to be pretty arduous, but super duper easy. So get through the boss's super chunky health bar, and then once you take it out, you should be good for another hidden mission, and along with it, another achievement. So make sure you finish it off, and then we're going to get another loading screen where it blows up, and then our achievement should unlock in the in-between. 40 gamer score for AI off. Once all of the explosions are off and we are on to the next screen, make sure you bypass the teleporter and then make sure you wall jump up the right side to collect your loot on this platform. Once you have that, feel free to drop down and teleport to the next level. The game is actually going to skip us quite far ahead, so we aren't going to be able to work on certain achievements like finishing the teleporter repairs, for example. So just make sure you teleport until you get to the last area, and then we're just going to make that long walk over to the final boss room, hit up that teleporter, and then starts the final boss fight. It's going to be exactly the same as last playthrough, so no need to retread the same water. Just make sure you repeat the same strategy, take out both of its speaker arms and then its arc reactor thing in the middle of its chest, then do the same thing after it finishes its attack animation. You get the deal. Super easy thanks to the cheat anyways, but once you finally finish taking it out, you're going to get another endgame cutscene as well as the credits, and then at the start of that, if you happen to beat this game using new, you should be good for this particular achievement. It's going to be called The Hero. This one is going to be for 80 gamer score, and that's going to bring a wrap to playthrough number 2. Check back soon at next time for our third playthrough, but that's going to be it for now, and that's all there is to it.